Most growth ETFs look similar, but choosing the wrong one could mean more risk, more concentration, and a portfolio that's harder to stick with long term. And depending on who you ask, you'll hear a lot of different opinions on which one is best. But if you're building a long-term portfolio, you don't need 3 growth ETFs. You need one that you can hold for the next 20 or 30 years without second-guessing your decision. So after comparing SCHG, SPMO, and QQQM side by side, I chose SCHG for my portfolio. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why. We'll look at how each ETF is built, the differences that most investors overlook, where the real risks are, and which funds are more concentrated than they appear. Because long-term investing isn't about chasing whatever looks best right now in the moment. It's about choosing a growth strategy that gives you strong growth, real diversification, and the confidence to stay invested through every market cycle. Before we compare the differences, it's important to understand what these 3 ETFs have in common. SCHG, QQQM, and SPMO all focus on large U.S. growth companies, the businesses driving much of the market's long-term performance. You'll see many of the same names in each fund, like Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, and Alphabet. They're all low-cost, easy to own, and designed for long-term capital appreciation, and over time, each one has delivered strong results for investors who stayed consistent. Because of that overlap, it's easy to assume that these funds are basically interchangeable, but that's where many investors get it wrong. While the holdings may look similar on the surface, the strategy behind each ETF is very different, and that strategy determines how concentrated the fund is, how much risk that you're taking, how diversified your portfolio really is, and how the fund is likely to behave during different market conditions. Those differences matter a lot more than most people realize. Hi, I'm Greg Hardy, and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for being here. We cover all things personal finance, investing, and building a secure financial future. So if you're serious about taking control of your money and also learning something new every week, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It really helps the channel out and gets this information to more people who need it. Thank you. And this is where the risk most investors don't see starts to increase. QQQM tracks the NASDAQ 100, which includes about 100 of the largest non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ. That structure naturally creates a heavy tilt towards technology and communication services, since many of the biggest companies on the NASDAQ operate in those sectors. It also means that you won't see any financial stocks in the fund, which limits diversification across the broader economy. Another important detail is concentration. A large percentage of QQQM is weighted toward its biggest holdings, with the top 10 companies making up a significant portion of the portfolio. Names like Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, and Alphabet, they carry a lot of influence over the fund's performance. When those companies are doing well, QQQM can deliver strong returns. And that concentration has been a major reason for its impressive performance over the past decade, especially during periods when big tech has led the market. But concentration also works in both ways. If the largest tech companies hit a rough period or the market rotates into other sectors, the fund can experience bigger swings and deeper declines than more diversified growth ETFs can. QQQM is a strong choice if you want to make a focused bet on large cap technology and are comfortable with that level of concentration. But for my long-term strategy, I wasn't looking to rely so heavily on a small group of companies or make a concentrated sector bet. I wanted broader growth exposure that could hold up across different market environments. On the surface, SPMO sounds like a great idea. It simply buys the stocks that are performing the best. Instead of focusing on company size or long-term fundamentals, it follows a momentum strategy. The fund selects stocks based on recent price performance, meaning that it invests in the companies that have been going up the most over a certain period of time. The goal is to ride the strongest trends in the market. But momentum strategies come with trade-offs. Because performance leadership changes over time, the fund regularly adjusts its holdings to keep up with whatever is currently leading. That creates higher turnover and a portfolio that can shift significantly from one period to the next. In many cases, the strategy ends up buying stocks after they've already had strong runs, which can increase the risk if those trends start to reverse. Momentum can work very well when market leadership is clear and trends stay intact. During strong bull markets or when a specific group of stocks is consistently outperforming, funds like SPMO can deliver impressive results. But markets don't move in straight lines, and leadership rarely stays the same for very long. When the market shifts, whether it's a sector rotation, a change in interest rates, or a broader pullback, Momentum strategies can lag or reverse quickly as the fund adjusts to new leaders. For long-term investing, I wasn't looking for a strategy that depends on short-term trends. I wanted something more stable, more consistent, and easier to hold through different market environments without constantly wondering how the strategy might change. And this is where the decision became clear for me. SCHG tracks the Dow Jones U.S. Large Cap Growth Index, and its approach is built around broad exposure to established growth companies. The fund holds roughly 200 stocks, which immediately gives it more diversification than a more concentrated fund like QQQM. It still has a strong exposure to tech because that's where many of today's growth leaders are, but that exposure is spread across a wider group of companies and sectors. Another key difference is how companies are selected. SCHG isn't chasing recent performance or short-term trends. Instead, it focuses on long-term growth characteristics like strong revenue growth, consistent earnings growth, and solid profitability. The goal is to identify companies with durable growth potential, not just the ones that have been performing well lately. That structure helps reduce two of the biggest risks investors face: concentration risk and strategy risk. You're not relying heavily on just a handful of companies to drive returns, and the portfolio isn't constantly shifting based on market momentum. The strategy stays consistent, which makes the fund's behavior more predictable across different market environments. And what also stood out to me about SCHG is that it delivers strong growth potential without taking unnecessary risk. It's broad, it's simple, and the approach doesn't change based on short-term market conditions. For long-term investing, that combination of growth, diversification, and consistency is exactly what I was looking for. When I compared these three, I tried to look past recent performance and focus on how each fund is actually built. QQQM has delivered strong results, but it comes with a high level of concentration and a heavy dependence on a small group of large tech companies. That approach can work well when big tech is leading the market, but it also increases the risk if leadership shifts or if the companies go through a weaker period. And SPMO takes a different path with its momentum strategy. It's an interesting approach, and there will be periods where momentum outperforms, but the higher turnover and frequent changes in holdings makes the strategy less predictable over the long term. Because the fund adjusts based on recent performance, your exposure can shift quickly depending on what's leading at the moment. SCHG, on the other hand, offers broad, large cap growth exposure with more diversification and a consistent rules-based approach. It doesn't rely on small groups of companies, and it doesn't change direction based on short-term market trends. The strategy is straightforward, and it's also designed to capture long-term growth across a wide group of established companies. And ultimately, that's what mattered most to me. I'm not trying to pick the ETF that wins this year or next year. I'm building a growth position that I can hold for decades, something I don't have to keep adjusting, second-guessing, or replacing every time the market environment changes. SCHG has delivered very competitive long-term performance, even if it isn't the top performer every single year. And that's an important point, because long-term investing isn't about finding the fund that wins in every market cycle. Chasing whatever is leading at the moment usually leads to switching strategies at the wrong time. What matters more is owning something that performs well across different environments and gives you the confidence to stay invested when the market gets volatile. Because in the long run, results come from consistency. Staying invested, avoiding unnecessary risks, and sticking with a strategy through both bull and bear markets is what actually builds wealth. The more diversified and stable your approach is, the easier it is to avoid emotional decisions and to stay on track. And over time, that discipline matters far more than trying to pick the ETF that looks the most impressive in any single year. At the end of the day, the biggest risk for most investors isn't choosing a bad fund. It's choosing a strategy that they won't stick with. The more complex, concentrated, or unpredictable an investment is, the more likely you are to second guess it when the market gets rough. And those moments, when performance slows down or when leadership changes, are exactly when long-term success is decided. That's why I focus less on which ETF might outperform next year and more on which one I can hold with confidence no matter what the market is doing. Because real wealth isn't built by constantly adjusting your portfolio. It's built by staying invested, staying consistent, and letting time do the heavy lifting for you. The best growth strategy isn't the most aggressive one. It's the one that you can commit to for decades without feeling the need to chase something new. And for me, SCHG gives me the growth that I want, the diversification that I need, and the confidence to hold it for the next 20 to 30 years without second guessing the strategy. Now, I would love to hear from you. If you're building a long-term portfolio, which growth ETF are you the most comfortable holding right now? Are you leaning towards SCHG, sticking with something like QQQM, or using a different strategy altogether? Let me know in the comments, because seeing how other long-term investors are thinking can be helpful for everyone watching. If you found this video eye-opening, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. And if you want more practical, no-nonsense advice on building wealth and securing your financial future, then check out this video here. And also, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.